Switch on the mains isolator on each station and wait for the PLCs to boot up. Make sure the load valve is fully closed, then open the main isolation valve. Fitting the test specimens. Fit the lower bearing race in the bottom of the bath. Then insert the 3 balls in the ball cage and fit the cage inside the bath. Insert the rod through the ball cage, slightly lifting the cage if necessary, and push the rod on through until it touches the bottom of the bath. Check that the bearing race is correctly fitted inside the upper bearing holder and place the holder on top of the ball cage. Place the splash guard washer on top of the holder. On the machine, open the hinged reaction plate and insert the bath assembly on top of the air bearing shaft. Close the reaction plate and secure to the motor mounting plate using the cap head screw. Open the air isolation valve for that test station. Using the air regulator, apply a preload of about 50 newtons. The bath assembly will rise and make contact with the reaction plate. Lift the rod by about 15 millimeters, then increase the load to secure the rod in place. Slide the motor shaft nut and collet over the specimen rod. Using the wheel handle on the top of the motor carriage, lower the motor over the shaft, sliding the collet inside the motor shaft itself, then secure with the shaft nut. Use a 17mm spanner to hold across the 2 flats on the motor shaft. Tighten the nut using the 22mm spanner, taking care not to touch the revolution sensor on the back of the motor shaft. Do not over-tighten the nut. Connect the oil drain pipe to the lower port on the bath assembly, securing the pipe using the knurled connector. Push in the oil feed pipe on the nipple connector at the back of the upper bearing holder. Starting a test. On the PLC screen, press the Test Parameters tab to enter the test parameter screen. Press the Speed Setpoint box and enter the required test speed. To change the speed ramp time, click on the box and enter a time. Enter the load set point, noting that the load is not applied automatically. However, The button to start the test will only become active once the test load, applied using the manual valve on the machine and measured by a pressure transducer, is identical to the load set point entered on the PLC. The data rate can be changed using the data rate box and choosing the required rate in the list displayed. The temperature box is used to set the oil temperature set point. A toggle button allows the user to choose to start the motor rotating immediately the test is started, or to wait for the oil temperature to reach the set point value. Press the reset button on the screen to reset the machine. Adjust the load if necessary to make sure that the measured load is identical to the load set point. The green start button will then be displayed on the screen. Press the start button to begin the test. The pump will start and will run for a set time to prime the test enclosure. The oil heaters will be switched on, and when the required temperature is achieved, the motor speed will be ramped to the required operating point. During priming, check that you can see oil flow through the lubricant feed pipes. During the test, the load, speed, revolutions and temperature are displayed on the screen. Once the test is running, the vibration level will need to be set. Rotate the vibration sensitivity potentiometer clockwise slowly until the indicator starts to flash. Then back off the sensitivity potentiometer by half a turn. If the setting is too sensitive, the test may stop early before pitting has been detected, and the sensitivity will need to be reduced. If the setting is not sensitive enough, the test may not stop after large pits have formed, and the sensitivity will have to be increased. Providing the vibration sensor is not triggered during startup, the sensitivity setting can be left as it is for subsequent tests. If the vibration sensor has triggered the end of the test, the motor will stop and a message will be displayed on the screen indicating that the vibration sensor has been triggered. Switch off the station air isolation valve to remove the load, and the bath assembly will lower. The reaction plate can now be opened once the securing screw has been removed. Lift up the motor using the hand wheel on the motor slide. This will extract the test rod from the test assembly. Undo the motor clamping nut using the 17 and 22mm spanners and remove the rod specimen. Disconnect the feed and drain pipes and remove the test assembly. To switch off the machine, switch off the mains isolator on each station and close the main compressed air isolation valve. For further information, please either refer to the manual or contact Phoenix Trubology Direct.